March 7, 11:09 p.m. Don't bother picking me up anymore, I can walk home. I did walk home, all 5 miles from the bus station, dragging an overstaffed carry-on with a broken wheel in the middle of the night. Sam kept trying to reach me, 12 unread messages, 7 missed calls, and 1 voicemail. But I ignored them all and kept walking. Reading this back again, I wish I hadn't been so angry at him. I wish I had picked up the phone. Maybe then everything would be different. Morning light comes through the curtains as I lay curled in bed, listening to Sam's voicemail again.
Julie, you there?
Some laughter in the background and crackling from the bonfire.
I'm so sorry. I completely spaced, but I'm leaving now, okay? Just wait there. Should only take me an hour. I know I feel terrible. Please don't be mad. Call me back, okay?
If only he would listen to me and stayed with his friends. If only he didn't forget about me in the first place. If only he just, this once, let me be upset instead of always trying to fix things. No one would be blaming me for what happened. I wouldn't be blaming me. I play the voicemail a few more times before I delete everything. Then I climb out of bed and start appending drawers, looking for anything that was Sam's or reminds me of him. I find photos of us, birthday cards, movie ticket stubs, paper blossoms, stupid gifts like the stuffed lizard he won at the town fair last fall, as well as every mixed CD he made me over the years. Who even burns CDs anymore? And crammed them all into a box. Every day, these little reminders of him get harder to look at. They say moving on becomes easier with time, but I can barely hold a photo without my hands trembling. My thoughts go to him. They always do. I can't keep you around, Sam. It makes me think you're still here, that you're coming back, that I might see you again. Once I have everything collected, I take a look at my room. I never realized how much of him I had laying around. It feels so empty now, like there is a void in the air, like something is missing. I take a few deep breaths before I grab the box and leave my room. It's the first time this week I managed to get out of bed before noon. I only make 2 steps out of the door before I realize I forgot something. I set the box down and turn back to get it. Inside my closet is Sam's denim jacket. The one with the wool collar and embroidered patches along the sleeves that he ironed on himself, like band logos and flags of places he's traveled. I've had it for so long, and wear it so often that I forgot it was his. I pull the jacket from the hanger. The denim feels cold to the touch, almost damp, like it's still holding in rain from the last time I wore it out. Sam and I race down puddle-filled streets as bursts of lightning lit up the sky. It is pouring on our way home from the Screaming Trees concert. I pull the jacket over my head as Sam holds his signed guitar tight to his chest, desperate to keep it dry. We waited 3 hours outside for the band's lead singer, Mark Lanigan, to come out and hail his taxi.
I'm so glad you waited.
Sam shouts. But we're soaked.
Don't let a little rain ruin our night.
You call this a little? Out of everything I'm throwing out, this reminds me of him the most. He wore it every day. Maybe it's all in my head, but it still smells like him. I never got the chance to give it back like I promised. I pressed the jacket against me. For a moment, I considered keeping it. I mean, why does everything have to go? I could shove it in the back of the closet, hide it beneath my coats or something. It seems like a waste to throw out a perfectly nice jacket, regardless of whom it once belonged to. But then, I catch a glimpse in the mirror and come back to myself. My hair unbrushed, skin more pale than usual, wearing yesterday's shirt, cradling Sam's jacket like it's still a part of him. A chill of embarrassment goes through me, and I look away. Keeping it would be a mistake. Everything has to go, or else I would never be able to move on with my life. I shut the closet door and hurry back out before I change my mind. Downstairs in the kitchen, I find my mother leaning over the sink, staring out of the window. It's Sunday morning, so she's working from home. The bottom step creaks under my foot. "Julie, is that you?" My mother asks without turning around. "Yeah, don't worry." I was hoping to sneak the box right by her. I'm not in the mood to have a talk about what's inside. "What are you looking at?" "It's Dave again," she whispers, peering through the blinds. "I've been watching him set up new security cameras outside his house." "Oh." "It's exactly like I expected it." Dave is our neighbor who moved in 6 months ago. For some reason, my mother thinks he was sent to watch us. She's been paranoid ever since she received a letter from the government a few years back, the contents of which she refuses to share with me. "It's better if you don't know," she said when I asked. I think it has something to do with the lecture she gave at her old job that incited protests. Her students went around campus smashing clocks on every wall. What were they protesting? The concept of time? To be fair on her part, she said her students didn't get it. But the university decided her teaching style was too radical and let her go. She is convinced they reported her to the government. "The same thing happened to him anyway," she explained to me. "But no one listened to him. Fascinating story. You should Google it." "I heard someone broke into his garage the other week," I said to relax her. "That's probably the reason for the cameras." "How convenient," my mother says. "We've lived here for almost, 3 years now? No one has taken as much as a lone gnome." I readjust the box that's starting to feel heavy. "Mom, we've never owned a lone gnome," I say. "And we also don't collect vintage sports cars." "Whose side are you on again?" "Ours," I assure her. "Just tell me our plan to take him out." My mother releases the blinds in sight. "I get it, I'm being paranoid." She takes a deep breath, releases it like her yoga instructor taught her, and looks at me. "Anyway, I'm glad you're up," she says. Her eyes flash to the clock above the fridge. "I was about to head out, but I can make you something if you're hungry. Eggs, maybe?" She slides towards the stove. The electric kettle begins to boil. A bag of coffee sits near the sink beside a teaspoon. No, I'm fine." "Are you sure?" My mother insists, her hand hovering over the handle of a clean pan. "I can make you something else. Let me think." She seems more rushed than usual. I glance down the counter and see a stack of engraved papers. They recently finished midterms at the university in town where my mother works. She is an assistant professor in their philosophy department. It was one of a few places that interviewed her after the incident. Thankfully, one of her old colleagues is tenured there and put his name on the line. One mistake and they both could lose their jobs. Actually, I'm on my way out. I keep glancing at the clock, trying to appear in a hurry. The longer I linger around, the more questions she can throw at me. "Out of the house?" my mother asks. She shuts off the electric kettle and wipes her hand with a dish towel. "Just for a walk." "Oh, okay, that's good." For the past week, my mother has been bringing meals up to my room and checking in several times a day, so I'm not surprised to hear the note of concern in her voice. "And I'm meeting a friend." "Fantastic!" My mother nods. "You could use the fresh air, get some decent coffee, and it's good to see your friends. That reminds me, have you talked to Mr. Lee at the bookstore?" "Not yet. I haven't really spoken to anyone." "You should check in with him if you can. At least let him know you're okay. He's left a few messages." "I know." "Some of your teachers, too." I grab my bag from the hook on the wall. "Don't worry, Mom. I'll talk to them tomorrow." "You mean you're going back to school?" "I have to," I said. If I miss another week, they won't let me graduate. Not to mention I'm behind on all my schoolwork, which keeps piling up. I really need to focus again and pull myself together, because what else am I supposed to do? The world keeps moving no matter what happens to you. Julie, don't you worry about any of that, my mother says. They will understand if you need more time. In fact, she holds up a finger. Let me make a call. She turns in circle looking around. Where is that thing? Her phone is sitting on the kitchen table. As my mother walks over to grab it, I jump in her way. Mom, listen, I'm fine. But Julie, please. Are you sure? I promise I am, okay? You don't have to call anyone. I don't want her to worry about me. I can deal with this on my own. Alright then. My mother sighed. If you say so. She cups my face with her hands, running her thumbs along my cheeks, and tries to smile. The silver in her hair shines beautifully in the light. Sometimes I forgot she was once blonde. As we take each other in, my mother glances down. So, what's in the box? Oh God, I was hoping she wouldn't notice. It's nothing, I was just cleaning out my room, that's it. Without asking me, she lifts the jacket off like a lid and glances inside. It doesn't take long for her to connect the pieces. Oh, Julie, are you sure about this? It's really not a big deal. You don't have to get rid of everything, she says, riffling through it. I mean, you can always store some of it away if you want. No, I say firmly. I don't need any of it. My mother lets go of the jacket and steps back. Alright, I won't stop you on this. Okay, thank you for understanding. I have to go. I'll see you later, okay? I leave the house through the garage door. Down by the curb, I drop the box of Sam's things beside the mailbox in a recycling bin. It hits the ground with a clatter like change and bones. The sleeves of his jacket hangs limply over the side of the box like the arm of a ghost. I straighten my shirt and begin my morning walk toward town, letting the sun warm me up for the first time in days.